Hi guys, welcome back to the Geneva YouTube page. I hope you've enjoyed our previous videos. Today I would be doing something called rock art. So I would be showing you how to paint different kinds of rock. So different kinds mean they can be jagged, they can be smooth. You don't always need a smooth rock to paint. And I'll be showing you different techniques to use on different kinds of rocks. So the reason I'm doing different kinds of rocks is because when you do different kinds of rocks and different kinds of paints on it, it adds different dimensions and it comes out really good. So let's get started. First off, I'd like to show you guys the different kind of materials you need before we start. So here I have 4 different saucers, or you can have a smaller one, a bigger one. I got these because these are pretty shallow and they're very useful for one of the techniques. I got a little cup because I would be using this cup for multiple color technique. I got a few brushes, a white pen marker, not necessary, but I like using it. I have a saucer of water. I have a mixing palette. This is just a plastic plate. I've got different kinds of rock. You can see they're all different dimensions. Some of them are jagged, some of them are rough exterior, some of them are smooth, some of them are like this, like hilted, big, small, all kinds of things. And for this one I am using watercolors because they are more readily available and they're just easier and cheaper to use. I am going to start today with a jagged rock. As you can see, it's been cut off and it's got all the marks over it. None of this would matter because I'm going to use it in a way that, actually highlights, actually uses this. So this kind of rock, I would be doing what is known as an M&M painting. It's very simple. Here I have 3 colors taken out. A dark brown, a black, and any color actually you can use for the outer side of the M&M. I have orange just because it's brighter and it will complement the darker brown very nicely. So to start, as you can see, the rock is jagged, right? So on the jagged part, just the jagged part, we are going to do the brown, which is going to show the inside of the M&M. So I'm just gonna dip my brush in the water just to get it going. Yep. And then I will take the brown and just on the jagged part, just the jagged part, I am going to paint it brown. Now that this is dry, I'm just gonna do some detailing on it. After adding details, this is what it looks like. All I did was outline the jagged part with the white, make white eyes, put black face, and the customary M&M sign. And there is the M&M rock. Hi guys, so the next technique I'll be showing you is the pouring technique. Can be used on a hilted rock like this because we're going to be pouring it on and it'll just run down. With the added features of the rock like this cut and this hilt here, it actually adds depth to it. So for this I have 3 colors. I've got a mustard, a dark blue, and a light blue. I'm going to be pouring it into a beach format. What I have done is I have added the colors, water, and a little bit of flour to make it thick. The reason is that watercolors tend to run off, but if you add a little flour or corn flour to it to make it thick, just enough so it runs, it'll stick to the rock. Here I'm going to show you how to do. You just keep it on a plate or somewhere it doesn't stick to other things, or if you're doing it on the table, make sure you have a mat or something and you just pour it in sequence. What you're going to do is you're going to take a paintbrush and just melt it through so there are no boundaries. So as you can see, we covered the boundaries. And then what I like to do after that is take some white paint and just put it where the edges were. Yep, and maybe put a little dot here, there. If there's any spaces, you take what's down here and you fill it up. The reason I add a little bit of white is because it sort of shows waves. So that is basically it, and you just leave it to dry. The next one I'm going to do is a galaxy painting, and it's just a mix-up technique. As you can see, this rock is very jagged, like it's like a rock has been cut into half. It's got a lot of rough surfaces, but that will actually add in our favor. What I've done here is I've put one black dot, and in a V shape, I have put the other colors that I think represent the northern lights. You've got black, dark blue, dark green, and light green. You can see the darker colors are smaller, but the lighters are bigger, because this kind of surface, the lighter color needs to be more to show up. That's why I have a little bit of dark green, but a lot of the brighter one. And the next thing to do is mix it up, but in a U circle, and I'll show you how. So take a brush, a flat brush, like a flat one but a thick one, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna start from one end and make a little U, and that's how you're gonna go all the way up. You're gonna come downwards. The beauty of this kind of painting is you use just the one brush. So as you can see, all the colors have melded, and that's why we use just one brush, because it melds all the colors and it kind of looks like a night sky with northern lights. There we go. And since it's all jagged, it sort of helps with the depth and the texture of the sky. Next, I have some white paint mixed with a little bit of water. Take a thin brush, just load on it as much as possible. Take another brush, this will help us, and keep that brush and just and usually what I like to do here is take the tip, just the tip, and just randomly make a line across. Just randomly make a line across anywhere. And again, just blend it. And there we go. There we have it. There's your northern lights with a bit of Milky Way and the stars. This one is called the spread technique, and for this, as you can see, I have a rock with a lot of grooves and crevices, some places holes. This is actually desirable for this technique. It gives it more depth. So for this, the first thing we need to do is get the rock wet. As you can see, I have wet it already. That actually helps in the flow of spread. And the next thing we're going to do is put colors on it in the center. I have chosen 4 colors. I've got an orange, a green, a blue, and a pink. All I have to do is put it in concentric circles on this rock. So as I said, the rock, I am going to wet it again before I put those colors on. Nicely, thoroughly, because this will create a medium for it to flow. Okay, there we go. Now before I put the colors on, I'm gonna move it a little just to make sure it's nice and even. I'm gonna put my orange first. Yep. And then on top of the orange, I am going to put my green. Same method, I'm gonna mix the blue, and on top of the green I'm gonna put my blue, and again the last one, the colors, which of the colors I showed you, top of the blue, I'm going to put pink. All right. When you put it on, it shows like this, and then all you gotta do is move it and let it spread. On places you think there is less color, you can add the colors that you have left over and cover the rock. Here is one I call the rainbow print. So as you can see, I have colors lined down in layers. Sorry, yellow and orange are opposite. So in the previous ones, we've been putting color on the rocks. So here, once we've got our layers, you take a rock and you just press on it. Yeah, once you have that, you rotate. And then you pull up, and here we go. That's your rainbow rock. What I have done here is I've covered the edges that you saw previously were uncovered with the rainbow print by dipping in it. So spaces like this that are left, I usually just swipe a little bit of paint and I gently dab. And here as well, don't worry about getting messy, it's just watercolors, it will come off. And then I have here, so I'm gonna take another section that's there and I'm gonna dab, cover all the visible areas. So I see this I am going to leave because it actually looks nice with the grooves. I do enjoy that. If we have peaks like this, don't worry about it, it'll dry off. In the end, this is the beautiful result.